Starting off with a little bit about us here at Safekids Aotearoa. So some of you might know that we are a service of Starship Health here in Auckland, but we are a national body. We're also part of a international group of Safe Kids based out of Washington, D.C. We focus mainly on our 0 to 14-year-olds, but in our home safety program, we focus on the 0 to 12-year-olds as well. So we were established in the late 90s to help reduce some of those preventable injuries that were being seen in Starship. So when we think of preventable injuries, it's more what we would consider accidents. So when a tamariki gets poisoned, accidentally swallows a button battery, falls, or gets a burn, that's what we call preventable injuries, also known as unintentional injury as well. So this program is the Home Safety Program. It is in partnership with ACC. So this is the Home Safety Program. So our partner, so we partner with about 27 partners across the motu. They go into the whānau home, do assessments, which you will be doing as well, and then offer free device to help reduce some of the risks in the home as well as the education provided. So with the home safety program, none of the costs are given to whānau. We cover all costs from installation to delivery as well. So what we'll do is we'll first look at the devices that are offered in the home safety program. So we have 20 devices altogether. Please don't worry, this presentation will be sent out to you, so you don't need to record any notes, as well as the recording once it's ready to go. So we have the cabinet slide locks, the multi-purpose straps, the flexible locks, the finger pinch guards, outlet plug protectors, corner cushions, blind cord wind-ups, the bath mats, the stickers for glass safety, and also for the driveway runovers. We also have the safety gate and the 3 types of extensions there. The furniture wall strap, the TV anchor locks, the window restrictors, as well as the fire guards and the water thermometer. So just a note here, the water thermometer is actually for you, our kaimahi. It is not actually offered to whānau. Where you see the allocation here, so that allocation covers off what a whānau can receive of each device. But we always say if a whānau does need a bit more device, so like a safety gate, as you can see here, it's 2. Sometimes you go into the whānau home, they might need another 1 or 2 extras. All you need to do is send us an email, so myself or Rihanna, just asking for those extra 2, and we can go ahead and approve that for the whānau. So this section just covers off what we require kaimahi to install. So that's for devices 1 to 14. So safety gates here, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So this comes under both sections. So where the safety gate is installed in a doorway, that is something kaimahi can do. But if it needs to be installed at the top or bottom of staircases, then we would get an installer to do that on our behalf. So what does our installer go into the whānau home and install? That would be the 16, 17, 16 to 21. So the wall straps, the anchor locks, the window restrictors, the fire guards as well, and those staircases at the top and bottom of the staircase itself. So with the water thermometer again, I'll explain this and how you would use it as kaimahi later in the presentation. So just covering off some of our preventions and what are the device allocated to it. So with these presentations, once we send them out to you, they all have links that are connected to it. So if you see down here, it says key messages, click here. When you click that link, it will take you to the key messages as well, more key messages that are on our website for reference. So we know for falls, it is the leading cause of an unintentional injury. So what devices do we offer in terms of falls? That would be our window stays, our bath mats, and our safety gates. So I'll show you what they look like here. So these are the devices here, and then we also have our 14 centimeter gate as well. Oh, sorry, our 14 centimeter extension for the gates. So with these window restrictors as well, we make sure that with whānau, if there is a fire in the whānau home, these window restrictors also come with a key. The key, you are able to jam it on top of the window restrictors and it will release the window. So that way it will open it up. So that's another function of these window stays as well. So some of the key message here, just making sure that we're using approved safety gates. If you need to move away from baby So these key messages are for whānau that you can pass on. If they need to move away from baby, taking baby with them, so tamariki won't fall off that changing table as well. Keeping tamaiti strapped into the seat properly, and also just steering kids to age-appropriate activities as well. So burns. So what do we know about burns? We know that it takes less than 3 seconds for a full thickness of burn at 60 degrees. And when you think of our cup of teas, they're sitting at about 70 degrees already. So that's a pretty intense burn straight away for our tamaiti, and that's because they have thinner skin than us adults at this age. So what do we offer? The smoke alarms, the outlet plugs, the thermo pen, and the fire guards. So with the smoke alarms, we don't offer them as a device, but we do have a partnership with Fins that says that if you need a smoke alarm installed into a whānau home, you can give them a call and let them know that this is the house that needs a smoke alarm, or the smoke alarm's not working. They will go and actually check it and give that fire education as well. So they have been approved to do that into the communities. And I think they also do subsidies for whānau that might have tamariki or tamaiti in the house that do have a disability and need a specific type of fire alarm. They too can cover that as well. So what do these devices look like for us? So this is the fire guard here. These are the power outlets, and this is the water thermometer. So again, education around here is just making sure that when tamaiti are about to have a bath, that we're starting off with cold water, finishing with cold water. We advocate that the water temperature at the tap be between 50 and 55 degrees. So that's what that thermometer is for you to be able to test that temperature at the tap. And if it's in a kainga order home and the temperature is not correct, whether it's above or below, you are able to actually get kainga order to come and recalibrate their hot water system to make sure that it's within line. But with private rentals, that's something you'd have to ask the landlord to do. Again, just making sure that we're putting lighters and matches out of reach, and that hot appliances as well, like hair straighteners, are also out of reach. And then handles for pots are putting them to the back so tamaiti can't reach up and pull them down. So poisons prevention, what we know about poisons, we know that tamariki are not afraid to put anything to their mouth at this age. They want to taste things before they feel or see it. And they do not care if it's sweet or sour. They will just give it a go. So what do we have in terms of prevention for poisons? We have these three here. So we have the flexi locks, the multi-purpose straps, and the cabinet slide-in locks. Just also a little side note with all of our devices, we have a YouTube channel that also covers how to install these items as well. So we can send out the links with that with this presentation. So what are the key messages here? Just making sure that we're administering medication properly. We've heard out in the motu where mama and papa have accidentally overdosed tamaiti because of medication. One might have given it and not told the other that they've given it. One might have given it and hadn't seen instant results, so might have given another dosage as well. So that's what we're currently seeing as well. So remembering to store any creams and medicines and baby oils out of reach of tamaiti as well, and making sure we're just having that conversation with them that this is medication. And it's not a lolly or anything else. I know it's very easy for us and whānau to go, it's a lolly just for them to have it and it's sweeter. But we know that they start seeking that out once they know it's a lolly and can again create that overdose again. And then just keeping cleaning products up high rather than under the pantry. But some of those devices, if they don't have storage up high, can help with locking those items away. So these are some of our other preventions for furniture, TV and sharp objects, driveway runovers, and choking and strangulation. So we'll check those out now. So here are some of the other devices that we have in our list. So we have the corner cushions, the wall strap, the TV ankle lock. So this was the old model. We will be getting a new model that will look quite similar to this one here, and we will update our website once it comes in. We have the finger pinch guard, and then we have these two stickers here. We also have a third one, which is just your plain white one if they want their tamaiti to draw something to stick on the glass as well. So here are some key messages around there. Making sure that nothing can fall into a tamaiti's cot while they're sleeping, checking and removing any sharp objects, making sure that glass panels have stickers on them so the tamaiti are not trying to run through it to get outside, but recognize, oh, it's actually a glass door and I have to pull it open to go out. And then just placing items like iPads and remotes out of sight, again, for button batteries. And doing that when the kids are not watching, so that way they're not trying to climb to it when everyone's disappeared and trying to get to the goodies. So these are the window blind cord wind-ups. How they work is, if it's string, you just wrap them into the blind cord wind-up, and then it's a rotate to pull them back up. So with our choking and strangulation, what we cover off here is more around food safety. So again, just making sure that food is mashed, grated, and finely chopped, and that food is given for appropriate ages as well as making sure that button batteries are being kept out of reach of tamaiti. Driveway runover. So we offer a driveway runover sticker. What we say is put the sticker in the front of the door, so when they're about to open it, it gives them the reminder, on the side of a wheelie bin, again for another reminder, or on the mailbox. So again, with the key messages here is just letting whānau know to have that conversation with tamaiti that the driveway is not a play area, around making sure that they do the proper check around the car and underneath the car before they drive out. Fencing off driveways if possible. I know how expensive it is to put a fence in place. And also just talking to them around using the backing camera as a source of checking, because what happens is tamaiti might sit just behind the backing camera and they won't be able to see them. So we say don't rely on the backing camera as the check to see if the driveway is clear. So that brings the first half to an end. Does anyone have any questions for us before we jump into the processor section? No? No? Oh, wow. Must be doing a good job over here. All right. We'll jump over. If any questions does come up, feel free to put them in the chat or just flag us and we will be happy to answer them. Okay, so the next section we're going to cover off now is actually the processes and the platforms that you would be using under the home safety program. So we'll start off with the home safety assessment. As some of you may know, that this home safety assessment used to be about 14 to 15 pages long and took quite a bit of time. I can see a couple of nods and a bit of laughter. Yes, yep. So thankfully, Rihanna has had a look at it and had a go and has been able to bring that down to actually 4 to 5 pages, which is a really great. I know I was also really stoked. So I'm actually going to pass it over to Rihanna and she'll be able to cover off what it looks like now.
Sweet. So this is just the landing for the online version of our home safety assessment. We also have a paper version, but once you do the paper version, you'll also have to input it online too. So within the form, there's nothing that identifies the whānau to us Safekids. Their identification marker is usually the home safety assessment number that gets put out into the back end of form site once you've submitted this whole form. And that's just used for all our shopping and installation processes later on, which will be explained. So the beginning is just your name, initials, and the identification number part is more for your own organization. So if you have any unique ID numbers for the whānau, it just makes it easier for when you're pulling your own reports. And then we have our demographic variables. These just give us an indication, an idea of where and who our most vulnerable whānau are. So if you fill out the address, the number of tamariki living in the house between 0 to 12, it used to be 0 to 10, but we've been able to widen the catchment in that area. Their housing type and also their ethnicity. So you're able to pick more than one, whichever they identify with. And then the last bit is if another organization has referred a whānau to you. Say, for example, if Plunkett, who are partners with Safekids, they have a non-partner ask if they can come and check out one of their family homes, then they will just say yes, and then who referred to them, and then just the location of where they're at. So that's just the our job, and then this is all like the nitty-gritty stuff. So instead of splitting this into each room in the house, the previous one, and we had to answer multiple questions, this one's just been put into the 17 safety topics. So we have from bathtubs all the way to the outdoor ones, water safety and the trampolines. And so in this one, all topics are on the same page. So if you need to go backwards and forwards, you can just scroll up and down. How it works, I'll do it on probably stair and step safety. So if you click yes onto any of them that they do have these hazards there, it will pop out the rest of the questions that you need to answer. And then the only thing different is now you can choose the location in the home. So select whichever ones are applicable to the whānau. If they need a safety gate installed, you would say yes, and then that will pop out the other questions as well. We've also added how many you can usually order on Orange Pod. So for safety gates, it says two. But if you do need more than the allocated number, please do just give us an email. Where we understand that sometimes the whānau need their stairs and a few doors fenced off, and we're more than happy to supply that. Also, the measurements are up here, just in case the safety gate doesn't quite fit and you'll need those extenders, so you don't have to come back again just to order them for installation. And if you have any additional comments at the end, you can just chuck them down here. Sweet. So this is the any other risks that might be found in the house that we don't actually have in those last 17. We'd love to hear about them too. And because if they're popping up frequently in lots of different homes, that means we can also look deeper into it. And if it's something we need to get on top of and have a look at. And then we completely understand that all those 17 topics, you won't necessarily be able to get through them with the whānau. And if it does get a bit overwhelming, we recommend our Wharekahi Car app, which just gives them time to go through it themselves in their home. And there are links also to our safety devices. However, they have to purchase them themselves. So that's why we always recommend go through the home safety assessment, come through the program, and then the devices to them are all free of charge. Then our last page, I'll pass it to Laura to talk about this one.
Thank you, Rihanna. A couple other pieces with the home safety assessment. If you could please, when you go through the form, there's always a complete underway and cannot be completed. If you could please fill that in as well, that really helps us when it comes up to reporting with ACC and making sure that we can say, yep, that job was closed off, and the whānau received the devices and the installation as well. So that would be a really great help for us. For this section, again, this is just to help us when we're writing up our reports. It gives us a piece to be able to put into that kōrero around have the whānau learned any safety prevention strategies. So you can click yes or no on these ones as well. And is the whānau going to be able to pass that on to other whānau that they've learned? So again, you can answer 1 to 5 as well. We would love some of that kōrero to be captured. So if a whānau does have any feedback or anything else, you just put that in. What is one thing that the whānau has learned as well? That would be much appreciated for us. All right, so that's the new home safety assessment. It has been culled down. So one of the other pieces here is around form site itself. So when it comes to form site, so once you've completed the home safety assessment, you will get given a home safety assessment number. So some of you might already know this. Once you have that home safety assessment number, then you are actually able to take that piece right through to all the other parts, so Orange Pod and the installation itself. So so this is where it gets a little bit not complicated, but a bit different because different teams run their home safety form site back end differently. So if there is only one member that does the back end for form site, then they would be able to generate that number for the whole team. But if the whole team has access to form site, then they themselves can go in and get that number. So what I'll do is I'll just get Rihanna. Rihanna, can I just get you to reshare your screen, please? So as you can see here, this is what happens once you've completed a home safety assessment. It generates this reference number here. So this reference number can only be found on the back end of your form site login. So it might be your team leader that has it, or it might be everybody has open access to it. But this is the number that you will need in order to take it across to the orange pod and the installation process. The reason you need this number is because we don't have any identifiable markers on who the whānau is, whether it's their name or anything like that. This for us is their identifiable marker. So in our system, when we need to bring up a home safety assessment or cancel it on Orange Pod or an installation, this is the number that you would let us know, and we will be able to go through our system and go ahead and pull that from FormSite, Orange Pod, and the other processes as well. So this is the back end of FormSite, and that's that number you will need to take right across. Okay, so that's home safety assessment. The next piece that we'll be covering off is the paper copy. So this is the paper copy. It's quite similar to the assessment itself. It still has the same whānau details that we need here, as well as the questions that you would need to answer. The thing with the paper copy is that what will need it to be done is that you will need to take the paper copy and still upload it into the assessment itself. So it's double handling, is what we're saying. So we say if you can get the digital copy, use the digital copy. There's different ways that you can access the digital copy. That's through the QR code that some of you may already be using, and the link itself as well. So you can do this on your phone, on your tablets, and any other device. So we've just done the demo. And so the next piece here is our Orange Pod device. So this is the website that you would go and order the devices to send out to either the whānau or to you, the kaumāhi. So we've left that decision with you. If you think the whānau are able to receive the device, feel free to send it to them. If you prefer to receive it and then take it out to the whānau, that too is also an option for you. Another thing before I start the demonstration is if you don't have an Orange Pod login, please let us know. You might be a first-time partner with us, so we'll need to set you up. Please let us know by giving us the name and the email of the team members and or of yourself that needs to be set up, and we'll get it done on our end as well. So just a kind reminder there. Thank you. So this is the website itself. What you want to do is, we say the best way to go is to go to products, and you just want to go to all products, and it will give you a list of all the devices that are currently in the home safety program. And all you need to do, similar to online shopping, you just need to go to the item that you're looking for. So maybe I want to slip that and add to the cart. And then you will see that it's in the cart ready to go. And there's some other ones. And then you just click checkout. And then you click add, and then again, just fill in the form on who you would like it sent to, whether it be you or the whānau. Enter their details. I've got one there. Click again. There will be no cost to the whānau or to you, so that should be all 0. Click continue. And what will happen is it will ask you to please enter that home safety assessment number again. So that's where you would enter the number and then complete order, and then that will be it done. So as mentioned earlier, when it comes to the products themselves, if you do try to, say, order a few more items, so let's go to maybe the finger pinch card. So say you try to enter 3, it will tell you that you cannot order 3, the max is 2. So that's why you just let us know, and we can add in those additional pieces that the whānau might need as well. Okay, so once that's done, you will receive a generated email that comes like this, telling you that the order has been placed. But the more important piece here is that you get an email that says that this is the tracking number. So that way you're able to know once the item has either been received by the team in the office or by the whānau directly as well. This bit is really important because we always say that we suggest that you check that the whānau has received the items before you order the installation. So you know that the items are there ready to go from the whānau when the installer gets there. So this now covers up the installation. So this is the form that you would need to do. All it needs is the organization, your initials, the home safety assessment number again, the site address, and then over here you fill in whether you would like the FBL partner to get in touch with you. If you feel like the whānau might be a bit vulnerable and not really sure what's happening and you want to be the middleman, that would be the best way to go. But if you feel like the whānau are able to receive the call and be able to sort it out, then you can also put their contact details there as the person to contact. And then all you need to let us know is which item is requiring installation and the location of it all. We also from the FBI would really appreciate if there's a dog on the property, if you could put that in the notes as well, just to let them know that there might be a friendly visitor when they get there first. And then you just email that to admin@FBL and CC Rihanna in as well, so we have a copy. So with all installations, we say that we are happy to cover $100. Every whānau gets $100 for installation, but we also recognize that some whānau might need a bit more support than others. So we're happy that if it goes over and under, we'll still cover those costs as well. So the next piece is the alternative installation. So what we're currently looking at the moment, well, not currently, what we've processed now is that FBL sometimes aren't able to get to whānau as quick as we'd like. So what we're saying to our partners is if you have a handyman on your team, or someone that is able to do the installation and do it correctly and safely for the whānau, we are happy to pay that $100 of installation to you, our partners, to cover that as well. So it would be a similar form, just letting us know where the location of that installation went and that home safety assessment number again. But that way you can reduce some of that waiting time from FBL as well. So how everything comes together. So complete the home safety assessment, get that home safety assessment number, take it over to Orange Pod, order the devices for the whānau, wait to receive that tracking number. Once whānau have received their device for installation, then you can go to FBL and order the installation with FBL, or if you have a handyman in your team, you can also get the handyman to do that job as well. So, as mentioned in agreements, that with every home safety assessment completed, there is a $40 admin fee that can go towards the organization. So, how this works is at the end of each quarter, all you need to do is send us an invoice for how many home safety assessments that have been completed, and then we will be able to pay for those admin fees. Included in that, you can also send in that invoice for the installation as well just to make it a bit easier on the books. And we just request if that could be sent in on the first week of the month of that quarter, so that way we can get it sent and paid out. So quarterly reports again. So the next one will be due in the first week of December, but so what we've done is we've actually reduced it. Previously we were adding in there some of the deliverables, but we can take that out of the assessment itself from FormSite. So now what we're wanting to do is capture some of that kōrero that happens in the home as well. So, and some of that feedback from you. So highlights, challenges, whānau narratives. We would love to hear all of that in the reports. We also do bi-monthly meetings with some of your team leaders. So if you have any concerns, feel free to pass it on to them and then they can pass it on to us as well. So yes, like Rihanna mentioned earlier, Wharekahika is our home safety app. This is a checklist style, quite similar to what you're currently doing in the whānau home. They can also walk around their house and do the checks. It also includes safety devices, but again, like Rihanna mentioned, that the safety devices the whānau would have to purchase, but under the program, they wouldn't need to. It's currently translated into Te Reo Māori, English, and it is also in Samoan and Tongan. So whānau are able to do that in some of their native tongue as well. That's it. That I know there's been a massive offload of knowledge and download of knowledge here. So if there are any questions, feel free to fire them away. Both Rhiannon and I are both here as well to help answer them.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead, Alana.
With our team, we've had one person kind of managing all this for us. So we just email her with the details after we'd done the assessment of what devices and things were needed to go for the process. So you're saying that we can all have individual logins to be able to order in things for whānau?
Yes. On our Orange Pod system, you can have more than one person ordering. Yep, you would all have your individual logins for Orange Pod to order for whānau.
Okay, cool. And is that the same? Do we need access to the form site first to be able to do that, or?
No, Orange Pod is its own standalone, but
Okay.
you'll just need the home safety assessment that form site generates, and then you can order your device for whānau.
Cool. And to get that sorted, we just email you with those in the team's names and email addresses to get it set up.
Yes, for Orange Pod,
Orange
yes.
Pod. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No worries. I just want to also raise a couple of things too. So currently we're going through our evaluation of the home safety program. We're doing a kaupapa Māori evaluation through Deloitte. And what I'm going to be currently doing, and I've already started the process, I've started emailing partners to see if they are open to, it's about a 60-minute conversation with Deloitte around evaluating the home safety program and giving feedback on it. As you know, we have secured funding for the next 5 years. The next 2 years is going to be quite similar, but this evaluation helps us build what that last 3 years could look like. What is the best way for this home safety program, putting whānau at the center and making sure that it's fit for purpose for our whānau. So I've started that emailing out to partners. So we would really appreciate if any of you might want to be part of that process, feel free to send me an email and I can connect you with Deloitte just to keep the integrity of the evaluation. Of course, I won't be in it. I'll be in the back supporting the team, but Deloitte will be doing the kōrero and the mahi. So we would love to get some feedback. So yes, please, if any of you are interested, just drop me an email and I can connect you that way too. So this is our email here. If you don't have it, that's my one and that's Rihanna's. If you do have any questions, feel free to shoot them through to me. At this stage, because Rihanna is about to go on leave, so I'll be the point of contact over the next week and a half. So if you do have any concerns or any issues arise, feel free just to drop me an email and I'll be happy to get back to you as well. So the next steps from here is we will send you an email with the presentation or as well as the YouTube links on how to install some of the devices that you've seen for you in the kaimahi. So this is being recorded, but we will have the team edit it to make sure that we get some of that dead airtime out. And then we will send that out later as well. So, but with all these links, they're always available on our YouTube channel. So that's the point of contact first. Safekids Aotearoa, that's our YouTube channel there. All right. Well, if no one has any other questions, and this is a side plug. It wouldn't be Safe Kids if we didn't do a side plug. We are currently in Wananga and workshops. We're going across the motu. Our next one is in Nelson. So if you know anyone in Nelson that might want to come along to Wananga, please feel free to tell them to come along. Rihanna will get some comms out to you. And then we're across the motu with our new Huitala Noa Aspiring Towards Pai Ora workshops, which are totally different to what we're normally used to. But we also, if you do need a refresher for the team, feel free to let us know. We can tee up another one of these for the team to cover off processes and key messages as well. Okay, that's me. I'll stop talking. Okay, if no one else has any other questions, I'll close us off with karakia and I'll let everybody get on with their day. All right, okay. Unuhia, unuhia, unuhia ki te uritapa nui, kia wātea kia māma te nākau te tinana te wairo i te ara tangata. Koia rā e rongo whakairia ake ki runga kia teina, teina. Hui e, tai. Yeah. Ka kite, everybody. It was nice to see you all.
Ka
Enjoy
kite.
your day and your weekend. Happy Friday.
Cheers.